I mean, I understand, like, wanting vengeance on the beavers that destroyed your life.
Yeah.
That's a good sentence. If that's not the cold open, I'll be surprised.
Yeah. Hello, you bucktooth mechas. We're your host. I'm Dandy.
I'm Luna.
And we're going to be talking about Hundreds of Beavers, which is an American slapstick movie from 2022. And this one's interesting because, I don't know about you, Luna, but I was sold as soon as I saw the artwork for this movie.
I don't know if I've seen the artwork.
Oh, you should see it. So, it's like classic movie poster. Like, to me, it reminds me of like the Carry On movies where it's like painted, and it just shows our main character running from hundreds of beavers in like a snowy tundra. And as I said, slapstick movie, and it's inspired by like silent comedies from like the 20s through to like the 40s and 50s. So like classic stuff like Abbott and Costello, Buster Keaton, Charlie Chaplin, that kind of thing. And because of that, obviously, like, talking about comedies is hard because obviously what you find funny is subjective.
Yeah.
And also because it's a silent comedy, it completely relies on physical humour, which explaining the joke is not going to make it more funny.
It's really difficult to explain, like, visual jokes.
Yeah.
Like, vocally.
And this is 100% visual. There's very, very, very little spoken. It's more like sound effects.
Okay. And
so, like, aside from maybe one or two, I'm not going to, like, talk about any jokes, just the ones that really, like, made me laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing was to sort of add to that, because it's made, like, in modern times, but it's then calling back to older movies. All of the effects are from After Effects, Adobe.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So it has this distinct look to it,
yeah,
which obviously isn't good, because it's Adobe After Effects. However, it just has this style to it. And I think for people, like, if you've seen the artwork, if you maybe watched the trailer and you're like, this seems like fun, then definitely watch it. Mm-hmm. And for other people that might be a bit more mixed, I think within the first maybe 15-20 minutes, if it hasn't, like, clicked for you, then maybe you won't have as much of a good time.
Right.
And so, yeah, aside from a couple of jokes I'm going to go into, but one thing I can go into, obviously, is the plot, which I've got a few things to say. But a lot of it is, again, visual.
Yeah.
So it starts out, our main character is a guy called Jean Kayak, who is an Applejack salesman. He makes cider.
Okay.
And we have a, like, opening credits where it shows him making his cider, and he has his own orchard, he has his own house built in. And as he's doing this, and he's a happy chappy, he sees two beavers sneak into his orchard and eat the support beams of, like, the giant kegs that he is making his cider in.
Right.
And one of them rolls away, and the other one goes straight into his orchard and house, destroying it, and it knocks him out.
Okay.
And he wakes up in winter. So it's been half a year, I guess.
Okay.
And it just shows him having no orchard and no home, trying to survive in this, like, winter tundra, and just failing at every turn. So he's trying to catch animals.
Uh-huh.
In slapstick form, they're, like, beating him up when he tries to catch them.
Right, okay.
He tries to catch fish by literally, like, biting his fingertip, making them bleed, and then sticking them under the water to try and get them to, like, take the bait.
Yeah.
And then pull them out. But eventually he is able to capture a couple fish, and then there's a local merchant that lives a couple miles from his home, and which he sells. Mm-hmm. And as he's selling his stuff, he meets a fur trapper who he is seeing that is making profit. Because the idea is this merchant, in, like, cartoon fashion, it will have a sign that says, like, 2 fish equals this, 2 raccoons equals this, 2 beavers equals this. Uh-huh. And so he knows, if I catch this many animals, I will get this. It's almost like a video game kind of logic.
Fetch quest.
It's very fetch questy. So yeah, he sells the stuff to this merchant, and he buys a knife, and he learns how to hunt rabbits. Okay. Now, one of the jokes, the one that genuinely made me laugh out loud, is to do with these rabbits, because he's hunting them, he's trying to find them in the wilderness. And because it's like flat snow tundra, and he sees footprints. So he follows them, and it's like, just like stark black on, like, white background, like very cartoon style. Yeah. And he sees 2 footprints. He's following the footprints, and then he keeps going, and he looks again, and then it turns out there's 2 pairs of footprints. Right. Keep going.
Yeah.
And then he goes a bit further, and then he sees there's clearly an imprint of where the two pairs of footprints have had sex. So these two rabbits have done it.
Yeah.
And then it turns out that there's 4 pairs of footprints. 2 of them are smaller, because kids.
Yeah.
And it keeps on going until eventually he comes across a gravestone of one that's died. And then he keeps going with his another gravestone, and then he just sees the 2 pairs of the small footprints, and eventually he gets up to the 2 baby rabbits.
Yeah.
And the one thing I will say is there's no animals in this movie. If there's animals, they are people dressed in costumes.
Okay.
There isn't a single animal, so you'll be seeing obviously beavers, you'll be seeing rabbits, you'll be seeing crows, you'll be seeing wolves, you'll be seeing deers, and they're all people in costumes.
Okay, I need to understand, like, the costumes, are they like a onesie, or are they like good costumes?
Most of them are like onesies with like the sort of like the mascot head.
Right. Okay,
most of them are like that. However, there's one where you eventually see a horse, and it's like, 2 people dressed as a donkey where you have the front and back half.
Yeah, the classic
like as
horse
a panto.
costume.
Yeah, you see 1 or 2 of those, but yeah, usually it's a guy in a onesie with like the mascot head on.
Right,
basically.
Okay.
But he eventually finds...
Sheep mascot, so it's got you.
Yeah.
Right.
But eventually he finds these 2 baby rabbits, and he's like, oh, and he reaches out to hug them, and it smash cuts to him cooking them spit roasted over a fire. And just like chowing down. And it's the one time where he just fucking burst.
The fact that they are like they're not animals at all, they're people in costumes, completely changes.
Exactly. Yeah, just like imagine a human dressed as a bunny being spit roasted, and it's like silhouetted. Like, but yeah, so he gets good at hunting rabbits.
Okay, this movie is very strange.
Oh boy, strange is the word.
Yeah.
He's trying to hunt rabbits. However, there's raccoons that are wandering around, following him, seeing what he's doing, that are giving him a hard time.
Okay.
So he's trying to set traps, and the raccoons are fucking it up for him.
Right. Yeah.
But eventually, Gene sets a trap for one of these raccoons and kills it. And he takes it back to the merchant, and the merchant has a daughter that skins it and makes clothing, so he has like a winter jacket. And also the head of the raccoon he has is like kind of like a helmet. It doesn't cover his full face.
Right, okay.
These aren't like, like realistic looking things. They're basically like, what if you got like a cork helmet with like a raccoon face with like the X for eyes, like South Park style.
Got you, yeah.
And then the little tail stuck at the back.
Yeah.
And that's what it looks like.
Right.
But yeah, so he goes to the merchant's daughter, and she makes him a coat to survive in the winter.
This universe is horrifying.
It's baffling. As soon as you think, like, these are obviously animals, but then it's him progressively becoming a better and better killer, trying to survive. It's like survivalist story.
Yeah.
Jean goes back out into the wilderness to hunt some more, and he breaks his leg by falling into a pit, which is made by a fellow trapper.
Okay.
And the trapper rescues him and makes him his protege.
Okay.
And so it shows there's a scene where there's them like at a campfire at night, and it shows wolves starting to gather around and starting to kill the trapper's dogs, which again, it's people dressed as dogs, dragging a sled.
Okay.
So yeah, the trapper's dogs are being picked off one by one until the pack of wolves attack in full, and the trapper is killed, but not before he gives Gene the trapping guide that he's been using.
Right.
And Gene is like, he's trying to master the area. He decides, I know I've been given this trapper's guide, however, I'm going to write one myself because I've learnt it a specific way. So he learns to master the area, and he's finding more inventive and creative ways to kill animals.
Yeah.
And while he's doing this, he's going back to the Indian fur trapper at the merchant's store and selling it to him and getting better gear and crafting new stuff, basically.
Oh, it's Monster Hunter.
Yeah, it is like Monster Hunter, actually. And while he's doing this, him and the trapper's daughter, they're slowly becoming infatuated with their time together. And the trapper demands that he give 100 beavers for his hand in marriage.
Oh, okay.
So that's the mission. That's the side quest.
That's okay. That's...
At this point, because it's a movie called Hundreds of Beavers, and I've obviously neglected to talk about beavers.
So while at the start of it,
aside from
up his
exactly,
life.
aside from the very beginning.
Yeah.
So while all of this is going on, everything I've said,
Yeah.
you will be watching, or you'll be seeing just beavers in the background, just milling around and picking up logs because they're building a dam.
Yeah.
And that's just like background flavour text almost until this point, because basically they introduce a Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson duo of beavers that are dressed like those characters.
Okay.
That are basically investigating the traps that Jean has put down.
Okay, right.
And again, just picture two guys dressed as beavers but wearing like deer stalkers and smoking pipes.
Yeah.
But Jean learns that the trapper that died, he had collected like a bunch of beaver carcasses to go back and sell. Mm-hmm. And when the wolves attacked, they were hoarding them in like a cave nearby where they live.
Right.
And so he is trying to find this cave while this Sherlock and Watson duo are trying to like track Jean down, and they eventually find him and realise what's going on. They report back to the dam. And so what they do is there's a large squadron of beavers that are sent after Jean. And Jean lures these beavers into the cave, and then he's able to seal them in by like dropping icicles over the entrance so they're sealed in.
Right.
And then the wolves all just slaughter them.
Yeah.
And weirdly enough, I don't know how he gets them, but like after the wolves have killed all these beavers, he's able to take the bodies back to the merchant's cabin. However, it's a cardboard cutout of a cabin. Because the Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson duo have just somehow made a cardboard cutout of this cabin as a trap.
Right.
And not knowing what to do, Jean sneaks into the beaver's dam. And as he's trying to sneak in, he gets caught and is put on trial for the beaver killings that he's been doing.
Right.
And just imagine a giant courtroom scene.
Yeah.
Like Phoenix Wright style.
Yeah.
With hundreds of beavers, and there's a judge beaver, and they literally have a giant PowerPoint presentation showing him, like footage of him killing off beaver kind and other animals.
Yeah.
So he's put on trial for killing the beavers.
Right.
And is obviously found guilty, and his punishment is he's going to be skinned and made into a coat, and you learn that the trapper that's killed by the wolves, that's what's happened to him.
Okay.
So this is what's going to happen, but Jean is able to narrowly escape.
Right.
And while he's escaping, he notices the beavers building a rocket out of one of the kegs that disappeared at the beginning of the movie.
Oh, well, okay.
Which again, this comes out of fucking nowhere. Like, where you're just like, wait, what?
Keg can be rocket. Very, very grand day out.
A little bit, yeah. It has that. Yeah, it's like it has that look to it. So he sees this keg rocket.
Yeah.
And he accidentally pushes one of the beavers into it, which causes it to malfunction and launch in the wrong direction, destroying the dam. And then it has the famous shot of the movie where it has him running from hundreds of beavers.
Right.
And with the bodies of the beavers that he needs to get their daughter's hand in marriage, he rolls them all into like a snowball to ride it to escape down a hill. At which point the beavers are able to join together into a giant mecha made of beavers that forms into a man shape that's able to run and chase him.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Fine.
So he's about to narrowly escape. This beaver mecha bucktooth thing is chasing after our hero.
Yeah.
But at the last minute, the Indian fur trapper we've met in the movie, he latches onto one of the rockets and launches it directly at the beaver mecha, destroying the figure.
Right.
And then John goes back to the merchant shack, and he gives the beavers to the merchant, and he's able to marry the daughter, and that's the end of the movie.
What? You know, sometimes where you have a movie end, right? And and your next thought is like, what the fuck happens the day after that? Right?
Yeah.
Like he's still a wanted beaver criminal,
presumably. Yeah. He hasn't killed all the beavers.
Yeah, they're still around.
Yeah.
So he's just like, he's gonna be living the rest of his life running away from fucking beavers.
Yeah. And it's also like, it's not like he was able to find one of the other kegs, and he doesn't go back to his normal life of being an Applejack salesman.
Yeah.
When he started, it's not like that. He's just like, and he doesn't even become like, you know, the master hunter. It doesn't say anything like that.
Yeah, like, okay, what's the time scale, like, within this movie? Does it happen over one winter, or...?
It feels like it takes place over, like, a week or two.
Oh, so it could be over one winter, then. Because
Maybe.
Because it could be that come spring he can just go back to doing apples.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, is the fact that it's destroyed, and then his first thought isn't, oh, I'm going to rebuild. I understand it's winter and you've got no shelter.
Yeah.
So you do see some of that, him trying to make a shelter and cocking up.
Yeah.
Him trying to hunt, obviously, for food and cocking up.
Yeah.
And then the whole point of the movie is that you're seeing him progressively get better
Yeah.
and better at this thing until he's basically put on trial for being as good as he is.
I mean, I understand, like, wanting vengeance on the beavers that destroyed your life.
Yeah.
That's a good sentence.
Well, it's weird because, like...
If that's not the cold open, I'll be surprised.
Yeah, that's pretty good. But it's one of those, like... for most of the movie, like, I don't think he's even thinking about the beavers.
Probably
it's
not.
more like only until he's told, you need to bring me 100 beavers so that you can marry my daughter. That's when it comes into play. Because before then, the beavers are just background character. You see them in the background doing stuff.
Yeah.
And he doesn't like hunt them or anything like that. So that's what's interesting.
This is a strange movie.
Oh yeah, like, and the stranger the better. It really is. Is this as strange as you thought it was going to be? Because we both wanted to watch this.
I mean, I didn't know what this movie was going to be. I didn't. Because the thing is I have seen the artwork for it. I must have seen the artwork for it because I assumed that it was a much older movie. I thought it was from the Carry On era.
Yeah.
But it came out in 22. You're saying?
Yes. Well, it's like, I think, again, because it's harkening back to, like, older movies.
Yeah.
And it looks so, like, based on that artwork and the look of it, maybe not so much with, like, the After Effects sort of look, but that is integral to the look of the movie.
Yeah.
It just has this really, like, timeless feel to it, just based on the artwork and the kind of humour that it is, and it is very well done.
Yeah.
If I'm getting into recommends, this one's interesting.
Mm.
Because I think for the most part, the videos we've done is stuff that we've either really liked or loved.
Yeah.
And this one is one that, did I like it as much as I wanted to? Probably not.
Mm.
But I got everything I kind of wanted from it. I think it's a fun time. I don't know if it'll be for everyone, because of the kind of humour that it is.
Yeah.
But that falls into all comedies. It's subjective.
That's the problem with comedies. I recommend.
But if you want
and
to
horror as a recommend.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I would say if you want to watch something different as a comedy, something that is harkening back to older humour.
Yeah.
And there definitely isn't anything like this. I'll tell you that now.
It does sound unique.
Yeah, you might need to like amp yourself up and be in a bit of a mood to watch this, I would say, but like maybe get around to it and at least watch it once. Is probably what I would say.
Okay.
And like that's my best recommend, I guess.
Yeah, no, it sounds like it's similar to like Black Type Killers in terms of like if you're into that kind of thing, go for it.
Yeah, if you've listened to everything we've had to say and thought, oh, that sounds interesting, maybe give it a look. But yeah, that's all from me, and then we've got to 2020 now, and we're going to work our way back down, I think.
I'll be doing 2010s.
That'll be your next, and for now, where can we find you, Luna?
I'm still only on DeviantArt. I'm not anywhere else yet. I might be at some point.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But yeah, DeviantArt as LunaDandy Midnight. There'll be a link in the description. Dandy, where are you?
You can find me on Instagram under Dynamite Dandy. I do rubber hose and pop art. I'm also on Instagram under Paranoid Prince. I do horror artwork, and then not so much art, but more music. I'm in a band called News for Parrots. We do ska punk music, and you can find us on all places you can find good music. So iTunes, your Spotify's, your Amazon Music's, that kind of thing. And we do have a Bandcamp where you can buy CDs and merch, like shirts and stuff like that. And yeah, as Luna said, we'll have all the links in the description down below if you want to check that kind of stuff out. And yeah, we shall see you in the next episode. Later, gators.
Bye.